department have made a compelling argument as to why these two students should not be admitted, especially given their rights to education as well as their rights to express their religious freedom. But appealing the ruling, Achimota School argues that the High Court erred by indicating that the rules and regulations of the school with regard to ensuring uniformity in appearance is unlawful and interferes with one's religious rights. In view of this, the school is urging the appeals court to set aside the judgment of the High Court and order the plaintiffs to comply with the school's regulations if they choose to be students of the school. So this foolishness will continue in this country. This foolishness will continue. My brother, my sister, I thought this thing was over, and I thought civility and common sense had come to play. But it looks like the foolishness is still going on. My brother, my sister, we live in a country where armed robbers have a field day. We live in a country where we have a free fall corruption. We live in a country where a president sleeps night and day unprovoked. We live in a country where corruption has become as common as oxygen. We live in a country where foolishness has become the order of the day. We live in a country where common etiquettes are zero. We live in a country, my brother, my sister, where common morals have been pushed to the background. We are only interested in fighting stupid things. We are only interested, my brother, my sister, in walking around and fooling night and day. And I wonder who created us at all. This is not a creation of God. God does not create fools. It is Satan who creates fools. Any fool you meet, my brother, my sister, is a creation of Satan and not God. And we have a lot of them all over Africa, including this country. My brother, two students worked themselves dry, were able to get admission into Achimota School. A school that thrives on Pan-Africanism. A school that boasts that Kwame Nkrumah once attended this school. A school that boasts, my brother, my sister, of academic excellence. A school that boasts that some great Pan-Africanists had a walk in the park of the school. Today, my brother, my sister, at the helm of Pan-Africanism, with this country seen as the gateway to Pan-Africanism by the kind courtesy of Kwame Nkrumah, Ya Asantoa, and all the people who laid down their lives to see the wheels of Pan-Africanism continue to roll and to get well lubricated. My brother, my sister, two students worked themselves to death, were able to get legal admission into Achimota School. They had their photographs, my brother, my sister, on their admission forms. The school saw that they had locks all right. Only for them to invite them to the school, and upon arrival, they decided to humiliate them. Oh, you have this dirty thing on your head. You have to go cut it off. Oh, you cannot come to this school. Turn around and look at the rest of the students. Are they not all decent? And you are not decent. With all these mind-boggling and intentional breaking down tactics of Achimota School. My brother, my sister, the students still stood firm and were ready to concentrate on their studies and their books. My brother, my sister. Now this matter went to court because Achimota School was not ready to allow the two Rasta students to go to school. They did not care about any other student but the appearance of the Rasta students. They ordered them to cut off their hair. Yet photographs that went around on the internet showed that this school previously had even admitted Indians with long hair. They had even admitted Chinese with long hair and Europeans. But the fools that we are with no common sense, we decide to fight what is natural to us as black people, bringing some laws that some dead white man bequeathed to us several millions of years ago that do not make sense to us anymore. And we have these guys who call themselves judges and lawyers, wearing the dirty horse tail on their heads and dressed in gowns that are as hot as ovens. Still, my brother, my sister, parading in the white man's legacies, colonial legacies. They don't see anything wrong with that. The lawyers and judges are wearing horse tail on their heads. That is not a problem. I wear my normal hair, and it's a problem to a head teacher who is wearing some dead white woman's hair that she does not even know. And it's a problem, sir. When are we going to be able to move out of this foolishness, my brother? Corruption is swallowing you in this country. Debt, common hygiene. You are not able to deal with that. Common hygiene. You cannot deal with that. You claim that your school is a Christian school. Where in the Bible does it say that when your hair is long like this, then you are not biblical? Where? I am hurt this morning. In fact, when I saw this thing, I shed tears. Why do you want to break down the students? So what? They are going to court. They are in court. And all they want is that they should go and cut off their hair. Oh, Jesus Christ. Lord God have mercy. Oh, my. All they want is that the two students should go to the barber's shop and get their hair cut down. If this were your children, would you take them through this trauma? They wouldn't allow the students to even study. Now, the few days that they have allowed the students to go to school, how has been the behavior of the students? Ultimately wonderful. They have made so many friends. And a lot of their friends are beginning to say, oh, you guys are gentlemen. Wow. And they are even taking selfies with the Rasta boys in the school. In fact, the school has become a tourism attraction. Everybody wants to go to the school by the kind courtesy of the two Rasta boys who have been admitted in the school. But foolishness will kill Achimota school. I am so ashamed of this school, and I hope Kwame Nkrumah will forgive me for this. Today, my brother, my sister, these two students, I'm saying Attorney General has gone to court. They would all go wear that funny thing on their hair and then put their gowns on with the heat that is swallowing us in this country from the tropical sun. They still want to glorify the white man's foolishness. They are not ready to hold up to what it belongs to them as black people. No wonder everything they wear is either from China or is coming from some other part of the world. And if they don't wear those things, they are unable to reason. So when you wear African clothing, like I always do, you look like a savage. They try to brand you as too old. They brand you as somebody who is not abreast with their timing. My brother, my sister, what is happening in the country? We went to court, we won, hands down. Well-meaning judges, well-meaning legal people sat down and realized that the argument of Achimota school was nothing but foolish and decided to fling it out of the courthouse. Only a few months after trying to recycle our two students so they will be able to sit back in class and forget the trauma that they've been through. They have reinvigorated. They have revitalized. They have re-energized their foolishness again. Oh Lord Jesus, have mercy. You can admit Europeans with long hair, admit Chinese with their Chinese hair, yet you are unable to admit Africans in their cultural outlook. What a shame. What a shame, Achimota School. What a big fat shame. The white man's legacy, they love. But anything that is black, my brother, my sister, it is a curse to them. The headmistress who is sitting there and making all the so much noise, herself is wearing Brazilian wig, or is it Peruvian wig? Something that is sitting on her head like bosom, like a god to be worshipped. And they are so happy with that. Have you so soon forgotten that you should raise up a child the way you want the child to be? And leadership by example is the best. So what are you teaching the students? That Brazilian hair, Peruvian hair, from dead white women who might have died from some cancer that was so untreatable. Their hair is sitting on your head. Yet my natural hair that is flowing and makes me look so priestly and royal, you don't like it. Yet these are the people who go to dance to Bob Marley's music and even quote Bob Marley's lines in their preaching and in their homes. Yet the appearance of Bob Marley is like the appearance of the devil to them. Fire burn them. My brother, my sister, I thought this whole thing was over. But Achimota School is bent on becoming the first in the school of foolishness. And it's sad. If I had a button that I could press and remove all these guys with no brains in that school, I would press it 1,000,000 times. In fact, so that their children who would also be this silly would all be taken out so that the school be sanitized. Today I wept when I saw this thing. I said, can people be this wicked? So what truly do they want to establish? So that, okay, we have admitted the Rastas. We don't want to admit any more Rastas. We don't want it to be a norm that we have admitted Rastas, so we will fight tooth and nail to get the Rastas out. The president spoke to them. The president said he did not see anything wrong with admitting the students. But I'm also glad to tell you that the Rastas themselves are fed up with this nonsense. And I will not be shocked if they leave this school. If these were your children, do you think they would have the peace of mind to study? That every now and then, their cringing brows are being slapped left, right, and center with legal documents and papers. All because we want to study to help the country. That's their crime. The school said, okay, we admitted them. Yes, we admitted them, all right. But their admission is subject to compliance with the what? School rules. And what are the school rules? They complied. Everything, head all the way down to the toe. But their hair, that there's supposed to be a certain form of uniformity. What is this? What is this? How uniform can you look? They should cut their hair so that they will look like you. Shame on you, Achimota School. Kwame Nkrumah is so ashamed of you. So ashamed of you. Agri is so ashamed of you. All our African ancestors are so ashamed of you. And we are watching you from behind. The ancestors will make sure that you lose and lose and lose. We are ready to fight this battle till the end of time. But the problem now is, our little children who are in the school may not have the peace of mind to study, so we will take them out, but we will fight you in court. So that the next generations can freely walk into that school, because that school does not belong to you. It is a government school. It was built from my tax. Foolish Achimota school. Do you still take taxes from Rastas or not? Idiots. Do you take taxes from Rastas or not? Do you say that because of your hair, because of that we won't take taxes from you? Do you say that? So if you take tax from me to build Achimota school, my children have no right to come to the school? What a shame. I pay tax as a Rasta man. Nobody has told me, hey, Rasta, because of your dirty hair, we are not going to accept your tax. You take my tax, and when it's time to bring my Rasta children, then you say no. Where is the sense? Where is the sense? Where is the sense? Today when I saw this news item, I wept. I said that we still have a long way to go. You just finished your elections. 6 people, or is it 9 people, shot and killed. You just finished your elections. Howard Kumsin was wielding a gun, firing like Rambo. Nothing happened. My brother, you finished your elections. You were in court fighting each other tooth and nail. Armed robbery is rife in this country. In broad daylight, we see a Rambo-style shooting of a bullion van driver. We see blood being shed. We see KFC being attacked. In broad daylight, Honey and Suckle attacked. Broad daylight. And people are wielding guns. Guns are now more common than food in this country. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry has a gun. Even pastors, their little boys are all wielding guns. In my days, the only way you could see a gun was to go to the police station and see a policeman try to hold a gun. Because in those days, guns were not even important. But today, even babies, after learning how to say mama, dada, the next thing is to hold a gun. We live in a country where ritual murder is still so rife. Our innocent children are slaughtered night and day. It is only in Africa. I don't see ritual murder in America. I don't see ritual murder anywhere in Europe. And if you see ritual murder in America or anywhere in Europe, then it's African people who are doing that. We still believe that by taking the life of my brother and using his body parts for some ritual, I will be rich. Who created us? Who created us? God or the devil? It must be the devil. We hate anything that is progressive. All we want to see is destruction. Every now and then, my brother, my sister, when you listen to the news reel, it is nothing but something that reeks of foolishness and backwardness. National security is beating journalists, and all they can do to the perpetrators of this evil is transfer and promotion. We see thieves parading our streets. They are in court. 600 years. The court is still on. 7 judges have died so far. No, not even one pronouncement of finality. No. And it goes on. And all you are thinking about is people's hair. People's hair. You have become a comic nation. Everybody is laughing at you that in the 21st century, you are still worried about somebody's expression of his religion. to our Rasta boys is part of the fight. Some time ago, they gunned us down for no reason. Some time ago, they took us to the jailhouse for nothing. Some time ago, it was a pride to the police in Jamaica to shoot and kill Rastas, all because they were Rasta. It's part of the fight. This one too shall pass. It's part of the fight. We sit in the trotro, and when there is a police raid, we are the first to be handcuffed, all because of our hair. But when we bring anything valuable home, they are the first to claim us. To God be the glory. This one too shall pass. I leave it here. My brother, my sister, the next one I want to look at is this one from Peace FM Online. And this one was published on the 13th, that was yesterday, September 2021. And it says, I will personally sponsor Mahama's 2024 re-election as NDC flag bearer. And this is Chairman Wuntumi. I read. The Ashanti Regional Chairman of the ruling New Patriotic Party, NPP, Bernard Entry Bosiakon, has said he is ready to sponsor former President John Mahama's campaign for him to win the 2024 flag bearer of his party. According to him, the former president is a weak candidate, as he would make the NPP's 2024 breaking the 8th agenda easier. Speaking on OKFM's Adiachibia program, he explained that the former president is very desperate for power and thus is doing everything possible to win the 2024 elections. That's it. Of course, your enemy would never give you any good piece of advice. They will try as much as possible to denigrate the best so that they can have a leeway to victory. We've seen this before. We have seen this before. Mahama is a weak candidate. In the last election, what were the polls cast? The votes that were cast. What was the difference between your best candidate and Mahama? What's the difference? They both flew above 2 million, right? Albeit very controversially, Nana Akufo-Addo strangulated us and took away a victory that is still very controversial. Now, people like Chairman Wuntumi, they are privileged rich men. Somebody won't understand. They are rich only by virtue of the fact that there is somebody sitting somewhere who has given them the privilege or the chance to access riches. It's not by dint of any hard work. It is by dint of a privilege. In fact, these are people who write on privileges and not rights. This might be too deep for you. I break it down. Your right to riches should be because you have worked very hard. That is a right. When I carry the cement, 10 bags is my right to receive a certain amount of wealth. That's a right. But a privilege is I carry 1 bag of cement. I reach there and the man standing there say, are you not the son of so? Oh, interesting. Your father was a good friend who did this. We used to play golf together. Oh, sit down, carry no more cement. You rather take care of those carrying the cement. You are going to be paid 20. That's a privilege. It's not a right. So whilst people are breaking their back to carry the cement, you are sitting in the shade, smoking cigar, drinking champagne, and laughing, ho, 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 ho. Yet at the end of the day, you receive more money than the people. In that case, there's a reverse osmosis. Jesus. What is that reverse osmosis? It is hard work does not pay. Hard work does not pay. Not in this country. It is all about connections, privileges, and chances. Who is in power? My sister's former boyfriend's brother. Then they will give you all the construction works to do, even though you don't know the difference between a shovel and a trowel. You do not know the difference between a trowel and a shovel. But you are the minister of construction, housing, and projects, and dot. That is why this country, my brother, my sister, continues to be a caricature country that only exists on the map. In reality, it is a country that is run by idiots. And that is the truth. A pastor can tell you that he is going to make somebody vanish. Mem. Who better sound no pop. Oko. A pastor's junior pastor boy is wielding a gun and says, we can kill in this country and no law can hold us. We will walk free. A pastor stands in front of a camera and he says, no policeman can ever arrest me. They have to arrest this other person. If they don't arrest that person, and they try to arrest me over the bar. In this country, thanks to the IGP, some kind of serenity is being restored. Some kind of energy is being restored. So when people like Chairman Wuntumi, who can sit on TV and show how much gold pieces they have, and they have stooges like Adum Ochre, what's his name? Adum Ochre. Say, hey, how much is this gold? How much is this gold? Greed showing in their eyes. That is why guys like this can perambulate themselves around and feel like demigods. How many of you saw that video? This guy being interviewed by Adum Ochre. I hope I got his name right. And he's showing gold that he has had from Galamsey. Your party is in power. The chairman of the party, John Boedu, whatever his post is, I'm not interested in your political posts and all that. My brother, my sister, says that he went on the Galamsey field to rescue machines belonging to his party, Galamseyers, illegal miners. All the excavators belonging to the NPP, the party members. I had to go to the field and rescue them from the hands of the tax force because that is my duty. Any other excavators owned by the other parties, touch them, set them ablaze, put them on fire. In the 21st century. Ha! If I was president of this country, sanity will prevail within 18 days. 18 days in power. Ghana will become like Eden. Our problem is one, attitudinal. And that is making us behave like assholes. If we are able to deal with our attitude, every other thing is going to fall in place like in a jigsaw puzzle. Illiterates, people who have never been to school, people who in my days would have been shoe shine boys, humbly asking people for services and behaving humbly. The shoe shine boy is one of the most humble people you would see. Polishing and he's talking to you nicely, looking for another opportunity to rise to the top. But today, no education, absolutely illiterate. They earn money that the professor in the university will never smell all his life. Even if the professor becomes emeritus, all the way to the umpteenth point. He would never smell, let alone see, because of the privilege. Hard work no longer pays. So he says he wishes to pay for Mahama to run. But deep inside him, he knows that the thorn in their flesh is that guy Mahama. He knows. He knows. Breaking the 8. I pray that there's a change of power. I don't care who becomes president. All I care about is that they will be led by wisdom, so that all these guys will account properly how they made their money. In some countries, this is a common responsibility, not in our country. When you try to bring this, they say it's witch hunting. When you try to do this, this is witch hunting. Chairman Wontumi right now has become so rich. And remember, I don't envy people who are rich. I admire them, especially if they get it legally. On TV. This is gold. Yeah, this one. If I take this to England and I come back, you will, if I give you this, you will stop your work. As journalists, I say, yeah. I watched this video and I was like, oh my God, we still have buffoons running around in the name of politics. And Atum Ochi was looking like a baby sitting down there, infantile teeth, milk teeth, watching him brag over how much gold he had. Today, Adum Ochri is in charge of airport board, whatever. I pray that they look at Ghana first. No more bullets. I leave it like that. My brother, my sister, today we have a lot of things to talk about, and we will talk. There's this other one I'm reading from City Newsroom, and this one was published on the 10th of September. 10th. It says, Mahama can't lecture me on economic management. He was abysmal and disastrous. And this is coming from his eminent sleepiness, Mr. Sleepydent, sky bathing Nana Akufo-Addo. And I read, the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has described John Dramani Mahama's time in office as an unmitigated disaster, adding that his economic track record from 2013 to 2016 was abysmal. President Akufo-Addo said this on Friday, the 10th of September 2021, in response to a question posed by a journalist at Vora Radio, in which she referenced a statement made by former President John Mahama accusing the current government of economic mismanagement. The president is on tour of the Volta region after visiting the Oti region. To God be the glory. You heard, Mr. President? Arrogant. You sleep all day. If it was a lecture in sleeping, I understand. You can lecture everybody. There you are professor, emeritus professor. His eminent sleepiness, Mr. Sleepydent. And he's bragging. Mahama cannot lecture me on economics. We have not forgotten so soon. When you said you were going to protect the public purse, today the public purse has become your pillow. You sleep on the public purse, snore on the public purse. The public purse has become a rag doll, and you are that bull that is wagging it around. We know what we know. Mahama cannot lecture me on economics. He was abysmal. It was disastrous. Yes, you are right. Mahama was abysmal. We all know that. He was so abysmal. Mahama was so disastrous. When I looked at Mahama, the way he was throwing money around, I was like, what is this guy doing? You are throwing money around. Is it your money? What kind of corruption is that? Corruption all over the place. Wherever Mahama went, corruption. I hated what Mahama was doing to the core. I didn't even want to see Mahama. How can you destroy the country like this? I never thought that there would be a worse person than Mahama until Nana Addo came. And Nana Addo, in the school of corruption, Mahama is only a first-year student. And Nana Akufo-Addo, his eminent sleepiness, Mr. Sleepydent, is the emeritus professor, emeritus to the umpteenth time. That's him. Hey, look at what you are doing. Eugene and all those people have become millionaires. They are building waterfront mansions. They have a fleet of cars like mosquitoes in my hometown. Where's my hometown? Dolin Buzon. In the upper west region. Dolin Buzon. When you go to my village, there are more mosquitoes than food. Eugene has a fleet of cars, more than the mosquitoes in my village. My brother, my sister, what are we talking about? Boys around you have become demigods. They flaunt their riches with no shame. They are so rich by the kind courtesy of a sleeping president. He's sleeping on the public purse, and because he loves his sleep, all you need to do is to drag the purse office from under his head, steal as much as you want, and push it back there. And now you're saying Mahama cannot lecture you on what? What can you lecture us? Sky bathing, PDS, corruption all over the place. Oh, please spare us this. Nobody likes you anymore. You are a big disappointment. PLO Lumumba has said it. That the gaping gap between your rhetorics and your action can never be filled. It is like that gaping void during creation. The one that God saw and said there was a huge gap. Read the Bible, Genesis. There was a huge gap between heaven and earth, and God had to fill it. The gaping gap between Nana Akufo-Addo's rhetorics and action is bigger than the void during creation. He will say one thing, and another moment he's saying another thing. I don't know if he's still sleeping when he's talking or what. I don't know. Let's speak the truth. Mahama was corrupt. Yes, he was disastrous. Yes. But you are his professor. You are his professor. Look how the little boys around you are flaunting money. Krede Japan can sit on radio and TV and say, yes, if I piss it, I will fucking pay. Like blood and fire. Hey, what are the tax people? Are these guys paying the right taxes? People can threaten people in this country night and day as if we're living in the jungle where the fittest would survive. Eh? Do we have some decency in this country? Everybody is threatening somebody. Look at Owusu Bempah. You go and stand in front of somebody's house. The police would have to come and arrest this person. As for me, before police would arrest me over the bar. I'm like, what arrogance. Is this the country you want? So if the police hadn't arrested Owusu Bempah, Reverend Owusu Bempah, how would he even have felt? Above the law, right? Is that the country you want? Above the law country. Right now I hear his boys are running around the place and saying NPP is a very useless party. How Owusu Bempah laid down his life to do spiritual things for them to win spiritual. And I'm like, Jesus have mercy. I understand spirituality. I know what it is to be spiritual. My brother, my sister. But the fact that you would help me and come and destroy me again is foolishness. You can't do spiritual things for me, help me become president, and will not help me rule the people properly. You are rather flouting the rules, flaunting your largesse and your asinine nature. I won't explain that. Huh? My brother, my sister. And then you say that we have a good country. because you are untouchable. Everything should happen. I'm so disappointed. But it's happening. Ahmed Swale was gunned down. Broad daylight. Broad daylight. Shot him several times in the neck and in the heart. They gagged the heart straight away. You could see that this was the work of a professional. Professional hitman. He didn't need more than a bullet. And the guy was cold like ice. He left his wife. He left his children. What did he do wrong? Because a certain irresponsible MP sat on radio and said, look for him, beat him. Beat him. And I ask again, what happened to Canada Japan's meeting with the privileges committee? Did I lose something? Did it happen? Did it not happen? I know he went for the first time and they agended whatever it was. What has come of it? What is it about now? Right now I know they are doing all they can so that at least they can pull out Reverend Owusu Bempah. But at the end of the day, Dampari, IGP, this is a strong test case for you. I've admired you all this while, and I know that you want to also leave a legacy. If they're trying to put you under pressure, resign. We shall support you. If you realize that they are putting you under pressure, somebody calls you and says, oh, blah, 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 boom, 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 boom. Hey, resign. After all, being the IGP is nothing unless you leave a strong legacy behind. If you can't leave that legacy, just leave so that we can support you. My brother, my sister, it is serious. So, Nanado says, Mahama cannot teach him anything economics, right? Oh, Jesus, have mercy. Well, it's for you. For I. To say what he has said makes sense or not. I leave it here. I'm going to look at this other thing very quickly. And this one was published today, Tuesday, the 14th of September, 2021. And I'm reading this from Ghana Web. It says, government owes contractors 5 billion Ghana cedis. Road Contractors Association. I read just 2 paragraphs. Last month, the Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amoako-Attah, during the inauguration of the Road Fund Board, pronounced that government has released 800 million to pay road constructors, Ghana cedis. He stated that contractors will have their checks when the necessary documentation has been completed. Reacting to this, the Vice President of the Association of Road Contractors, Stephen Atachi, has expressed surprise, particularly because he says the said 800 million is yet to reach any member of the association. Yeah, rhetorics and action, gaping void. It's a whole abyss. It's an abysmal desert between their rhetorics and their actions. Oh, we have released 800 million. Those of you who did not get it, you are still living in the past. That's that minister. You remember when he said that? We are building roads. Those who have not seen the roads, then you are living in the past. You are several years behind. You are several years behind. You all saw it. Several years behind. Hey, contractors, those who have not received the money yet, you are living in the 2 BC. Several years behind. In the days of Hammurabi, in the days of Daniel in the Bible, the money has been released. Look at this, comedians. Watch this. Now I am suffering. I am the one suffering. And I say I am suffering. Then some arrogant minister with a sleepy president will come and tell me that another man came to coach me to say that I'm suffering. What an insult. I'm suffering. Then you can't tell me that there is one man, Mahama, who is going around telling Ghanaians to pretend to be suffering. Hey, Minister Nene, look at this. Can't we see the schools under trees? Can't we see the schools that have no roofs? Can't we see misguided projects happening in this country? The hospitals that have not been completed, some of them have become housing for rodents and cockroaches. What is this country all about? So many wonderful projects, but nobody wants to complete them because they don't want to share their glory with anybody. We have our own plans. Jesus, I've said it time and again on this show. We need to have a minister for uncompleted business. When that minister comes, his duty is to finish the unfinished projects. Then we can make sense. We don't have housing, we don't have accommodation, yet we have completed housing projects that are sitting there because some other person built them. Now we allow cockroaches and mosquitoes and lizards and snakes to inhabit those places. The last time I tried to enter those places, I saw about 8 snakes already waiting for action. And I don't like snakes, so I just stepped back. I tried to go there and just look at what was happening. When I stepped, about 8 snakes already were ready for action. It's almost like saying, this is our bona fide property. What are you doing here, son of man? If it was in the days of the Bible that you hear the voice of the snake, this is an apple, eat it, and you will know the difference between life and death, good over evil, eat it. Jesus have mercy. My brother, my sister, God is good. Pay the contractors. You said we are not suffering. Please pay the contractors. So that those of us who depend on some of them can at least have a little kickback. So we can drink a little bit of water. I leave it here. The last one I'm going to deal with is this one here. Well, I think I saw something about NAM1. Let me try and deal with that before. There's something here about NAM1. NAM1, where is that? Men's Gold customers. I will have to look at that. I saw it somewhere like that. Was it on my Joy Online? I think, yes, I saw it on my Joy Online. But the sense behind it is that government is not doing enough to prosecute NAM1 for the unpaid monies and all that. I agree with you. I agree with you. The matter has been in court. How is it going? Are there announcements about the next court date? Are Men's Gold customers allowed to go in there and hear for themselves what is happening? Because this matter has stayed for too long. We want to see a finality to this, so that a young man can hold on and do whatever he wants to do with his life. So that the customers can also at least know their fate and move on with their lives. That's what we are talking about. I saw it somewhere, I can't find it anymore, but I think it's on my Joy Online, and it says that, well, Men's Gold customers are saying that the government is not doing enough to prosecute NAM1. But I know, and you know, that the matter is in court and that they are going about it. But are they making it public enough for Men's Gold customers to know? The leadership of Men's Gold customers, are they aware of the court days? Are they tracking what is happening in the court? Is there anything fishy? That's what I'm asking. If there's anything fishy, let us know. Good. It's here. It says government lacks commitment in prosecuting NAM1 aggrieved Men's Gold customers. And this is my Joy Online, 14th September, published today. Let me read just 2 paragraphs and we are done. It says customers of the defunct gold leadership firm, Men's Gold, has vowed to use available avenues to retrieve their locked up investments from the company. The coalition of aggrieved customers of Men's Gold, in a brief conference on Tuesday, accused the government of Ghana for failing to protect funds of investors, a development that continues to deepen their hopelessness by the day. And they are saying that there's an unconcerned posture of the government. So I've asked the right questions. They know the matter is in court. Have they been following up? Is the court too slow? Why is it that there's no finality to this issue yet? I know that Nam1 himself wants this thing to come to an end. Make your pronouncements. What happened to the money that was in Dubai? So much money that Nam1 won. Why are we not hearing about this money? Where is the money? Is he allowed to leave the country and go and get his money? All I know is that his passport and everything seized. The last time we checked, that was what it was. So he cannot leave this country until this matter is done. So the money in Dubai that he won, can we get that money and pay off these people? That's what I'm asking. Why is it so murky? So murky. We can't seem to find our way through. The young man himself wants to move forward. He wants this matter to end. Let the government make a pronouncement. The courts make a pronouncement. Okay, Attorney General, follow up the money in Dubai. We all know that there was a finality to that money. Follow it up. Bring that money down. Pay all Men's Gold customers. The rest of the money, give it to Nam1. So I'm asking, where is that money? Because the Deputy Attorney General at that time said on this show, and I could play it back right now. He said on this show that the money was real. He went all the way to the UAE. He saw the money, everything. So why won't you get the Attorney General now to follow up on the money? At least tell us something about that money. Pay Men's Gold customers. We agree with Men's Gold customers that the process is slow. Information is not flowing. Let's go and collect that money. Pay off everybody. And let the young man also have his life. And let Men's Gold customers also be happy, at least. Have I made sense? Have I made sense? That's it. We all want to be free. We don't want that tag on us. Oh, my boss know a crown for. Oh, sir. Meanwhile, the matter is in court. Is information flowing properly? Can we collect that money from the UAE? Their Deputy Attorney General, that you all heard him on this show. I'm tempted to play back this tape. I have to find it quickly. My brother. I'm going to try and find it and play it. Where is it? My brother, my sister, we all want a finality to this issue. Whoever doesn't want any finality to this issue does not have the Men's Gold customers at heart. Yes, Deputy Attorney General. You all remember. Deputy Attorney General. Don't try and find it. We are left with just 1 minute. Oh my God. But well, in subsequent broadcast, we'll try and play. But you heard it on the show live when I interviewed him. Yes, Deputy Attorney General. He made it known on this show that he had won that money. What happened to that money? Could he be allowed to go get the money? Or could the Attorney General and some national security people go with him and get the money and give to the people? You've made the whole issue so murky. So, shrouded in a certain kind of mysticism. I leave it here. Oh,